Meghan Markle will go down in history as the woman who fumbled the bag. Now, 4.5 years into Megxit, Meghan Markle is being called out for being a self-absorbed bore and for making the worst decisions ever. Meghan is a woman who talks about planting seeds, but she never stays in one thing long enough to watch it grow. We all know by now that Meghan is not about hard work. She's about acting and putting on a show for the cameras. Meghan never really wanted to be a working royal. She just wanted the perks of being a royal duchess. In today's video, we're going to break down how Meghan Markle never really was committed to being a working royal and how she is losing friends and allies in the wake of the truth of her true character being revealed. You guys, we have a lot of juicy royal daily tea to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the royal daily tea. You can fool some of the people some of the time, but you cannot fool all of the people all of the time. This is what is happening to Meghan Markle. People are finally starting to see her for what and who she is, a grifting narcissist. Meghan Markle suffers from extreme narcissism and delusions of grandeur. When Meghan Markle married into the royal family, she really did have no idea how serious it actually was. That being a working royal is an actual job. It's called living a life of service in exchange for your life of privilege. It's not like you see on Instagram where it's boss babes counting their Benjamins, flaunting riches and overspending. In fact, at times it can be very old and frugal. Everything they do, every dollar they spend is accounted for. Everything has a budget and a purpose. Meghan mistook royal life for celebrity life. She thought, as I mentioned in a previous video, she was going to be the modern day Marie Antoinette. But instead, she found out she was a civil servant in a tiara. And people were telling her no. And nobody puts Megxi in a corner. Again, she was really upset that the royal family was telling her to get out of bed and go to work, and you can't buy all the clothes you want, you can't get the freebies, we're not going to talk to the press for you, get up and deal with it, sunshine. And again, she did not understand this is a job in exchange for a life of service. Meghan thought she needed to be paid on top of all of the extravagant and privilege that she had already received as a working royal, plus the free clothes. And then she thought she was going to monetize Sussex Royal, and the Queen told her you can't monetize nor trademark the word royal. And again, that really pissed Meghan Markle off. Meghan didn't want to work, and that is it. She just thought she was going to bounce in there and, cosplay being a royal, show up in a designer bag, wave to people, don't let anyone touch me, I'm going to stay for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go home and yell at my staff because I'm a modern day Marie Antoinette. But they were like, no, you actually have to interact with people for hours and do multiple appearances a day, and you have to treat people nicely, Meghan. She didn't like that. Meghan thought, again, that what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. She wanted to live the Instagram version of royal life. The picture of Princess Diana in the crowd collecting flowers, the adoring fans who wait for hours just to shake your hand. That sounds wonderful and glamorous, but that's not all that they do. And again, Meghan really doesn't like to interact with the common folk. If you've ever seen her on a walkabout, she really doesn't like people. She doesn't get very close to people. When you saw her in Colombia, she was like, hi, hi. In Nigeria, hi, but she didn't go up to the fence and put her hand there and touch people. She would walk through the crowd with all of her security detail and wave to the cameras, make sure they got the money shot, and then she was off. She didn't really interact with people. You saw in her face the way she acted when people gave her gifts, and if she didn't like the gift, she was like, oh, that's nice. Meghan is not a people person. She's not a baby person. She doesn't have a maternal instinct. She's not a people person. And if you're a royal, what do? You serve people. You serve causes. You serve others. Again, the complete opposite of someone like Meghan, who is a complete narcissist. Meghan, again, thought she was the smartest person in the room, and she was going to show old grandma, the queen, who's boss. Again, you don't put Megsy in a corner, and she wanted to have her cake and eat it too. So Meghan thought she was going to outsmart the queen playing a game of chess, but the queen had been playing chess longer than Megsy had been alive. And the queen said, don't go there, sweetheart. Don't play me. And the queen won. She gave them what they wanted, and now they found out 4.5 years later, they fumbled the bag, okay? They made a mistake. Again, that huge saying, be careful what you wish for. Meghan didn't want to work. She was lazy. She complained, and she was constantly jealous and competing with Catherine, the Princess of Wales, who had earned her place, had been married already 7 years into the family, and had 3 children, one of whom is a future king, and she herself a future queen in waiting. So Meghan and Harry started Megxit to monetize their royal titles, what she originally wanted to do. Again, her cake and eat it too. So Tina Brown, y'all, has entered the chat, calling Meghan Markle out for her disastrous decision-making amid her Megxit launch. She says she always makes the worst decisions and everything she does is a flop. The former editor of Vanity Fair and royal author Tina Brown criticized the Duchess of Sussex during an appearance on the Ankler podcast to promote her new Substack newsletter called Fresh Hell. Brown said, quote, the trouble with Meghan is that she has the worst judgment of anyone in the entire world, and that she's flawless about getting it all wrong. All of her ideas are total crap. I think we can agree that Meghan has an entire graveyard of failures, and the list keeps growing. Just to name a few, we have The Bench, 40 by 40, Pearl, Live to Lead, Archetypes, ARO, known as DOA, etc. Tina Brown also went on to say that Meghan treats Prince Harry like a child, and he blindly follows her like a lamb to the slaughter. Again, no lies told. All we know that Meghan told Harry is that they would be big stars in America, and that is proven to be false. She sold him a pipe dream. Remember, when Meghan Markle left Hollywood, it wasn't like she was Grace Kelly going on a huge ship over to Monaco to marry Prince Rainier. She was not an Oscar-winning actress. She was a D-list showgirl who nobody knew who she was until she married Harry. Harry is what put her on the worldwide map. Grace Kelly was an A-list Oscar-winning actress who was at the height, the pinnacle of an actual acting career when she gave up everything to marry Prince Rainier. Meghan was not on that level. So when she came back to Hollywood, yeah, people knew who she was, but they're like, okay, you married a prince and now you're back here? Why are you here? What are you going to do? I mean, you're a duchess. I mean, are you going to go into acting? We're confused. Why are you here? Again, people knew who she was because of her husband. Prince Harry is the only thing that gave her clout. Remember, Prince Harry really is kind of like a child. He grew up in what I call the Buckingham bubble. He didn't really have real life experience. He's been coddled his entire life except for his very brief stint in the military. I mean, has this guy ever pumped gas? Has he gone to the grocery store and bought milk? Has he made a reservation in a restaurant? Has he paid a Visa bill? We don't know. Okay, this is a man who's had everything done for him since the moment he was born. The problem with Meghan Markle and why she will never, in my opinion, be successful is that she's a complete narcissist. She doesn't listen or take any actual advice from anyone, and she just wants to fast track it to money. Show me the money. And you're not ever going to get there unless you do work. The other problem with her is she's not real. She's not authentic, and people are now seeing her for who she is. The other biggest mistake that Meghan made was choosing to play the narrative of the victim narrative when she left the royal family. And she came out with her feel bad for me shtick in 2021 on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Her race baiting and her lies also backfired on her and Harry both, and now you can't put the genie back in the bottle. Once it's out, it is out forever. That will never go away. People will never forget nor forgive that horrific allegation that they both made to the royal family. In my opinion, that's got to be their biggest regret, because honestly, they will never, ever be able to separate themselves from those statements. So on top of being called a failure at her decisions, another article, the Sunday Times of London, did an article called Modern Day Bores, where Meghan Markle topped the list as a bore as a mother. They called her a self-obsessed bore, and how Meghan makes everything about herself. The Duchess of Sussex, queen of as a mother, I'm a mom. They say she's a bore. She is the peak as a mother form at a recent children's hospital fundraiser in Los Angeles, demonstrating exactly how it's done in 2024. From my standpoint as a mother, Meghan said, establishing her unique perspective straight off the bat. No one wants to be in a position where you need to go to a place like this, but if you have to, the best place in the world you could go would be Children's Hospital LA. So they basically were calling her out, saying that she was celebrating the staff and about mothers, but not necessarily focusing on the children at the event, and somehow Meghan made it all about herself. They said that Meghan is merely the icing mother figure on the top of the cake of modern life. Lately, this habit of identifying yourself as a mother and licensed to bore anyone because as a mother is a shout out, basically making the I'm a mom another way to turn the subject onto herself and gain applause. Meghan is not only being called out for her lack of work ethic and decision making, but of course her bullying allegations. She's now losing a lot of friends and allies. They seem to be dropping like flies. Former fans are now saying they no longer support her, like journalist Liz Jones, the Beckhams. Meghan hasn't learned the golden rule to be nice to people on the way up, because you will see them on the way down. Meghan's graveyard of ghosted relationships is getting full, y'all. She may need to buy another plot, is all I'm saying. Instead of topping the list of Hollywood's who's who, she is now topping Ranker's list of the most disliked celebrities 2 years in a row. Not exactly the list that she wanted to be on. All thanks to her lies, victim narrative, and the endless bullying allegations from the Hollywood Reporter and the Daily Beast. Couple this with her embarrassing creative failures. People see Meghan as a user, an abuser, and a quitter. She pretty much quits at everything that she does and never seems to complete anything that she starts. To me, Meghan just needs to give it up, maybe start that cult of community that she's always speaking about. Who knows, maybe she can set up a table in the lobby of the Godmother's bookstore and she can channel Princess Diana for $50 for people. Just a thought. So what do y'all think, guys, about these articles coming out talking about how Meghan doesn't have the best decision making, how she doesn't have a good work ethic, and how she likes to overuse I'm a mom for self-clout? What do you guys think about that? Leave me your comments down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope to see y'all in the next video. Bye, guys.